Most men don't realize this. Waking up tired, weak morning response, or cold hands and feet isn't just poor sleep, it's poor nighttime blood flow. Many men think this is just aging, but aging doesn't shut circulation down while you sleep. Something else is quietly interfering, and it doesn't fix itself. I'm a board-certified urologist, and for decades I've helped men over 50 understand these changes calmly and clearly without judgment. Here's what surprises most men. Many of you are already trying to help yourself. The real problem is taking the wrong nutrient or the right one at the wrong time, which quietly cancels the benefit. Before we continue, tell me where you're watching from. And if this helps you understand your health better, feel free to like and subscribe. We're building a calm, informed community. No noise, just clarity. But here's what most people don't realize. Blood flow problems don't usually announce themselves loudly. During the day, they start quietly at night, long before you ever notice a real problem. I see this over and over in men after 50. During the day, you might feel mostly fine. But at night, when your body is supposed to slow down, repair itself, and restore circulation, that's when the system begins to struggle. And that struggle is exactly why you wake up tired, why your sleep feels lighter, and why your performance first changes in the morning, not the afternoon. Here's why this shows up at night first. As we age, the blood vessels slowly lose flexibility. They don't snap open and close the way they used to. Think of them like an old garden hose instead of a new one. Water still flows, but not smoothly, not efficiently. During the day, movement and gravity help push blood along. At night, when you're lying still, your body has to rely almost entirely on healthy vessel signaling to keep circulation strong. If that signaling is even slightly off, blood flow drops quietly while you sleep. Another piece most men have never been told about is nitric oxide. This is a natural gas your body produces that tells blood vessels to relax and open. In younger men, nitric oxide production stays fairly strong around the clock. After 50, production declines, especially at night. That means when your body is asking blood vessels to relax so repair can happen, the message doesn't land the way it used to. The vessels stay a little tighter. Circulation slows, oxygen delivery drops. You don't feel pain, but your tissues notice. Nighttime hormone timing makes this even more important. Testosterone, growth hormone, and repair signals don't surge randomly. They rise during deep sleep. That's when your body is supposed to fix small vessel damage, improve blood flow pathways, and restore morning readiness. But if circulation is already reduced, those hormones can't fully reach the tissues that need them most. It becomes a quiet loop. Poor blood flow weakens repair, and weak repair leads to even poorer blood flow the next night. The biology behind this is actually simple. At night, your blood vessels are meant to relax. Your heart rate slows, blood pressure dips slightly. This is not a flaw. It's intentional. It allows your system to rest and heal. Deep sleep is when this repair happens, but relaxed vessels still need clear signals and flexible walls. If the signals are weak or the walls are stiff, relaxation turns into stagnation. Blood doesn't move as freely, especially to the extremities and sensitive tissues. This is why so many men tell me the same story. You sleep for 7 or 8 hours, but you wake up feeling unrested. You toss and turn more than you used to. Your sleep feels lighter, less satisfying. In the morning, your response isn't what it once was, or it's unpredictable. Some mornings it's there, some mornings it's not. Your hands or feet feel cold when they never used to. These are not random complaints. They are classic signs that nighttime circulation is no longer doing its job. Low morning energy fits into this picture as well. When blood flow during sleep is reduced, your muscles and brain don't fully recharge. You wake up already behind. Coffee helps for a bit, but it doesn't fix the underlying issue. And because this all happens while you're asleep, most men never connect the dots. They assume they're sleeping poorly because they're tired, not realizing they're tired because their circulation never fully recovered overnight. What makes this especially frustrating is that many men are actively trying to help themselves. They take supplements, they drink more water, they exercise, but they're still stuck. And the reason is simple. Most supplements are taken without any understanding of nighttime biology. They're swallowed in the morning, metabolized during the day, and long gone by the time your body actually needs support. And this is exactly why most supplements fail at night. But here's the mistake most men make. They think vitamin D3 is just about bones or maybe immunity, something you take in the morning and forget about. In reality, vitamin D3 is not just a vitamin at all. It behaves like a hormone in your body, sending signals that affect how your blood vessels, nerves, and hormones work, especially while you sleep. And when men over 50 miss this role, nighttime blood flow quietly suffers. Let me say the name clearly because this matters. Vitamin D3. This is the compound your body actually recognizes and uses. Its job at night is simple but powerful. Vitamin D3 signals blood vessels to relax during sleep. That relaxation is what allows blood to move smoothly when your heart rate is low and your body is focused on repair instead of activity. Here's where the biology gets interesting, and I promise to keep it simple. Vitamin D receptors are found directly in the walls of your blood vessels. That means vitamin D3 doesn't work indirectly. It speaks straight to the cells that control whether vessels tighten or loosen. When D3 levels are adequate, those cells respond more calmly at night. They open up instead of resisting. Blood flows more evenly instead of pooling or slowing down. Those same receptors are also found in testosterone-producing cells. That connection is not accidental. Testosterone production and blood flow are closely linked, especially during deep sleep. When vitamin D3 is low, testosterone signaling weakens and blood flow becomes less responsive at the exact time your body is supposed to be restoring both. When D3 is present, the system works together instead of against itself. Vitamin D3 also improves your nitric oxide response. Remember nitric oxide from earlier? It's the message that tells blood vessels to relax. Vitamin D3 doesn't create nitric oxide on its own, but it makes your vessels listen better when the signal arrives. Think of it as turning up the volume on a quiet message. At night, when nitric oxide levels naturally dip with age, that improved response becomes crucial. The real-world benefits are what men care about most, and I see them clearly in my practice. Men with adequate vitamin D3 often report stronger, more consistent morning firmness, not because D3 is a stimulant, but because nighttime blood flow finally did its job. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative because circulation supports repair instead of limiting it. Hands and feet feel warmer at night because blood is actually reaching the extremities instead of stalling. Now, this is where magnesium often gets misunderstood. Magnesium is important, but magnesium alone does not send the signal that tells blood vessels how to behave during sleep. It helps muscles relax, yes, but it doesn't activate the receptors in vessel walls the way vitamin D3 does. Many men take magnesium faithfully and still wake up with the same issues because the core signal was never addressed. There's also a critical timing mistake I see constantly. Most men take vitamin D3 in the morning with breakfast or even worse, inconsistently during the week. By the time nighttime repair begins, blood levels have already dropped. The body doesn't get the signal when it actually needs it. The result is a supplement that looks good on paper, but fails where it matters most. This is why some men swear vitamin D3 didn't help them, even though the science is sound. It wasn't the vitamin that failed. It was the timing, the understanding, and the missing partner in the equation. Because here's the truth most doctors never explain. Vitamin D3 only works if calcium goes to the right place. But here's what most people don't realize. Even when men finally get vitamin D3 right, something still feels off. Blood flow improves a little, sleep feels slightly better, but the full result never quite shows up. That's because vitamin D3 was never meant to work alone. There is a second nutrient that quietly determines whether blood vessels stay open and flexible at night or slowly stiffen while you sleep. And almost no one talks about it. Let me introduce it clearly by name. Vitamin K2, specifically the MK7 form, this is the missing partner to vitamin D3. And without it, the signal D3 sends can actually end up working against you instead of for you. Here's why vitamin K2 matters in one simple line. Vitamin K2 directs calcium away from the arteries. That single job changes everything about nighttime blood flow. When you take vitamin D3, your body absorbs calcium more efficiently. That's a good thing, but only if calcium ends up in the right places. Calcium belongs in bones and teeth, not in blood vessel walls. Without enough vitamin K2, calcium can slowly deposit where it shouldn't, making arteries stiffer over time. Stiffer arteries don't relax well at night. And when arteries don't relax, blood flow suffers right when your body needs it most. Vitamin K2 works by activating specific proteins in your body that act like traffic controllers. These proteins move calcium out of soft tissues and into bone where it belongs. When those proteins are active, arteries stay flexible instead of rigid. Flexibility is everything at night. Flexible arteries respond smoothly to relaxation signals, allowing blood to flow evenly, even when heart rate and pressure are low. This is especially important during sleep. At night, blood pressure naturally dips. That dip is healthy, but only if vessels can adjust. Vitamin K2 helps prevent the nighttime stiffening that makes pressure drop feel uncomfortable or ineffective. Instead of blood flow slowing too much, circulation stays steady and controlled. The benefits show up where men notice them first. Nighttime circulation improves. Blood reaches tissues instead of stalling. You wake up with less of that heavy, dead feeling in your body. Morning response becomes more reliable because blood flow is maintained, not restricted during the hours when repair should happen. Many men tell me their hands and feet feel warmer at night once this balance is restored, which is a quiet but important sign that circulation is improving. Now, it's important to understand something clearly. Vitamin K2 without vitamin D3 is incomplete. K2 directs calcium, but D3 is what increases absorption and signaling in the first place. One without the other is like having traffic rules without cars or cars without traffic lights. They are designed to work together, especially during nighttime repair. So why don't doctors explain this pairing more often? In medical training, nutrients are taught in isolation. Vitamin D is discussed for bones. Vitamin K is discussed for clotting. The connection between them, especially in the context of nighttime blood flow and male performance, is rarely emphasized. Add to that the fact that sleep time circulation isn't routinely measured, and this critical relationship slips through the cracks. I've seen men struggle for years because they were doing almost everything right, just missing this one link. They were supporting absorption but not direction. They were sending signals without preparing the pathways. And at night, when timing matters most, the system couldn't respond the way it was designed to. And this brings us to the final piece that ties everything together. Because even with the right nutrients, many men still get one thing wrong. Now here's where timing changes everything. But here's what most people don't realize. You can take the right vitamins in the right amounts and still get almost no benefit if you take them at the wrong time. I see this every week in my clinic. Men come in doing everything they were told to do, yet their sleep, energy, and morning response haven't changed. The reason isn't their effort, it's timing. Your body does not respond the same way to nutrients in the morning as it does at night. This comes down to something called your circadian rhythm. That's simply your body's internal clock. It controls when hormones rise, when repair happens, and when your system is open to certain signals. During the day, your body is in action mode. Blood pressure is higher, muscles are active, digestion is working. At night, the body shifts into repair mode. Heart rate slows, blood pressure dips. Blood vessels are supposed to relax. That's when nutrients that support circulation and repair matter most. The nighttime repair window is short and specific. It begins a few hours after. You fall asleep during deep sleep and it doesn't last all night. This is when your body tries to fix small vessel damage, improve blood flow pathways, and reset hormonal signaling. If the right nutrients aren't available during that window, the opportunity is missed. You can't make it up the next morning. Repair doesn't work on a backlog system. Here's the simple truth. Your body listens differently at night. The same signal that does almost nothing in the morning can have a powerful effect during sleep. Blood vessels are more responsive. Hormone receptors are more sensitive. Repair enzymes are active. This is why nighttime circulation issues can't be fixed with daytime-only strategies. The most common mistake I see is men taking all of their supplements in the morning out of habit. It feels responsible. It feels organized. But by bedtime, many of those nutrients have already been metabolized or excreted. When your body finally asks for support, it's not there. So the night passes without proper circulation, and the same problems repeat in the morning. I want to be very clear about something here. This isn't failure. It doesn't mean your body is broken or that you waited too long. It means you were never given the full picture. Most men were taught what to take, not when the body actually uses it. That missing piece creates a lot of unnecessary frustration and self-blame. Once men understand this, something important shifts. They stop feeling defeated. They stop assuming decline is inevitable. They realize their body is still responsive. It's just been speaking a language no one translated for them. When nutrients line up with your circadian rhythm, blood flow support happens naturally instead of being forced. Sleep becomes deeper because the body isn't fighting against poor circulation. Morning energy improves because repair actually occurred overnight. And the quiet symptoms men have been tolerating begin to make sense. And once you understand this, everything clicks. But here's what most people don't realize. What you've been feeling at night was never a personal failure, and it was never just aging. When sleep stopped feeling deep, when energy faded in the morning, when blood flow felt weaker or unreliable, Your body wasn't giving up. It was signaling quietly, patiently, waiting for the right conditions to recover. I want you to hear this clearly. These changes are not permanent. I've seen men in their 50s, 60s, even 70s regain steadiness, warmth, and confidence once their body finally got what it needed at the right time. Not through force, not through hype, but through calm alignment with how the body actually works at night. There is dignity in understanding your body instead of fighting it. There is strength in recognizing that decline is not inevitable, but often misunderstood. When nighttime blood flow is supported, sleep becomes restorative again. Energy stops leaking out overnight. Mornings feel steadier, more predictable, more like they used to. Not because you're chasing youth, but because you're restoring function. This is about trust. Trust in your body's design. Trust in your ability to respond with clarity instead of fear. Aging doesn't mean losing control. It means learning a different rhythm. And when that rhythm is respected, the body responds quietly, reliably, just as it was meant to. If this conversation resonates with you, I invite you to stay connected. This channel is for men who want to age with strength, clarity, and self-respect. It's a place where I speak to you the same way I speak to my patients in my office, calmly, honestly, and without judgment. If you choose to subscribe, you're joining a community of men who are paying attention, asking better questions, and taking quiet control of their health. In the next video, I'll explain another overlooked nighttime factor that silently affects sleep, energy, and blood flow.